Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Hall of Famer Bob Berry ruled Milwaukee's airwaves in the 60s and 70s. He spoke with countless musicians and celebrities over the years. Bob collected remarkable recordings of these encounters, which he's now sharing with the public. Here's Bob.
Take me out to the ball game.
It's time for another World Series. And our podcast today features a Baseball Hall of Fame catcher who helped the Brooklyn Dodgers win its first World Series championship in 1955.
Not only I like baseball, but I'm a Brooklyn Dodger man. And don't laugh at us people from Brooklyn, because we know what we're doing. The rest of the world's mixed up.
Three-time MVP catcher Roy Campanella was in every All-Star game from 1949 through 1956, including the first integrated All-Star game with Jackie Robinson, Don Newcombe, and Larry Doby. During his career, he threw out 57% of the base runners who tried to steal a base on him, the best of any catcher in Major League history. His playing career came to an end after he was seriously injured in an auto accident.
Hello?
Hello, Roy Campanella?
Yes.
Hello, Roy. Bob Berry at WOKY in Milwaukee.
Yes, hi, Bob.
How are you this morning?
Pretty good.
I heard that you had another accident. Is that right?
That's right.
Oh, brother.
Both of my legs.
But you're still going to be here, right?
Yes, I plan on being there.
We're talking to Roy Campanella, and he is going to be honored, and I am really happy about this award. It's the Sacred Heart Rehabilitation Hospital is presenting the Tao Award to Roy Campanella, the former Brooklyn Dodger catcher, at an award dinner on June 3rd at the Hyatt Regency. As Campy just said, he had another accident here, fell from a wheelchair and broke both of his legs, but he's had some special braces fit, and he is going to be here. He is presently the Community Relations Director for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He also attends spring training and does some coaching. By the way, the Tao Award is given annually to an individual for outstanding service and commitment to the disabled, and last year's recipient was actress Patricia Neal. I don't know if I have to really tell you about Roy Campanella, but it's fun to go through all these figures, though. He was a veteran of 21 years in professional baseball, 10 of those in the majors, and Campy, as he is known to millions of baseball fans, joined the Dodgers in 1948 and remains the only member in history of the ball club to ever be named the most valuable player 3 times in 51, 53, and 55. He was in 5 World Series. He was selected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1969, and then, of course, his career ended on January 27, 1958, when the car he was driving skidded out of control on ice and crashed into a telephone pole. The accident left him a quadriplegic, paralyzed from the neck down, but that hasn't stopped him. He is still going strong. Roy, what was the greatest thrill for you as a Dodger?
Gee, I had quite a few.
You sure did.
I guess just putting on my first Dodger uniform when they called me up from the minor leagues. And then when they honored me after my accident out here in L.A. at the Coliseum, where they had the largest crowd in the history of baseball, 93,103.
Wow.
In 1959. That was at the Coliseum. Dodger Stadium wasn't even built then.
What was the difference in the old Negro leagues and the majors? The difference in the caliber of play.
Basically a little more fundamentals, but other than that, you play baseball, and let's say the pitching staffs were a little deeper, but the main thing in the old black leagues, you had to play every day. They didn't keep records, and the best records you could have was be in that lineup every day.
What about lifestyle? Was there a lot of difference in those old leagues and the majors?
Oh, yes. Mainly in travel. You traveled in buses. You didn't have the pleasure of traveling in planes.
What about those great Dodger teams that you played on? Reminisce a little bit about those great days.
Most of us started out together from the Dodger farm system, from our outfielder Carl Ferrillo, Duke Snyder, and then Gil Hodges was on the team when I arrived, but he was the third string catcher, and Leo DeRocher made him a first baseman, and Jackie was at second, Pee Wee Reese at short, and we got Billy Cox for third base, and I was a catcher. And we had brought up a lot of young pitchers, say Carl Erskine from our Texas Lake Farm Club. Well, we had Ralph Branca, Rex Barney, and we got Preacher Rowe from Pittsburgh with Billy Cox, and Don Newcombe, who was our bellwether pitcher. And not only that, off of the field, I thought this group of fellas, being the first integrated team, I thought this group of fellas were so outstanding to blend together, because we just continued to win after win after win after that.
There must have been a tremendous amount of confidence being on a team like that. All those, the World Series in the 50s, 4 of them in the 50s, the one in 49. You must have really had a feeling that you couldn't be beaten.
Well, we did have that, but I don't believe we ever felt conceited that, or taken for granted, that we would win. And we had a team that would play. These fellas played every day.
And there wasn't much talk about baseball strikes back then either, was there?
No, we didn't worry about any baseball strikes. We did take into consideration that if the team couldn't draw, then you couldn't make any money. And this is why we played all over, everywhere. In an exhibition game one day, we played Cleveland Indians in Cleveland, Ohio. We had 80-some thousand at an exhibition game. But all of the regular players say, gee, we're going to have to play this game ourselves, at least 7 innings, because the people pay to see the regular players.
Sure.
And we realized at that time, when we'd go and play these kind of games, we would have to play.
Yeah, it's not like today.
Today, the regular players in an exhibition game, you hardly see them.
What kind of money was big money in those days? Today we're talking in the millions, you know.
Well, a lot of fellas, if they could come up in the big leagues then and make $7,500, that was big money.
Gee, that's something. Well, Campy, we're looking forward to seeing you here in Milwaukee, and thank you so much for talking to us this morning.
Fine. It'll be a pleasure to return to Milwaukee, and I'm very proud they picked me to receive the award.
And you take care of yourself now.
And nice talking to you, and I'd like to tell all my old fans in Milwaukee, although they used to boo us a little, but it was always appreciated, because the way we used to draw there was something else.
That's right. And that's important. If you're not booed when you're out of town, then you're not popular, right?
That's right.
Okay, thanks a lot, Roy.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Bob Berry.
Thank you for listening to Bob Berry's Unearthed Interviews. Be sure to subscribe and rate our podcast on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts. You can find all the episodes at WisconsinBroadcastingMuseum.org. Check out Bob Berry's book, Rock and Roll Radio Milwaukee. Book sale proceeds support Angels Kids Fund and Donate Life Wisconsin. The preceding program was made possible by a generous contribution from Terry Vaughn.